Would you please be honest with me and tell me what you really hate about President Obama? Is that possible? Just be totally honest. And I mean, ask yourself on a deep level, why do I really hate this man? And I want to hear your answers. And when I get those, I'll read those on the air. Now, before we get too much into this, I made a promise to a guy on YouTube that Fear of a Black Planet, Public Enemy. That's some shit right there, Barco. That's my jam there. Hey, Kim, long time no here. Kim Asbury Moxley in the chat room. My friend who lives, I don't know, 10 miles away. I haven't seen in a long time. She came over and brought a computer, but we only had a little 5-minute visit because I had just woken up. Yeah, I got sleep. It was the weirdest thing. I haven't visited with anybody, Cam, just so you know. This is, I am so fair. My failures apply to everyone around me. I never, pick people to fail worse with than others. I'm just a general failure in most things I try. And it makes it so easy because anything I do is an accomplishment. It's a positive. Anything. I like that. I like starting from the format of failure because I almost always venture into success if we're speaking relatively. Anyway, I promised this guy on YouTube that he was going to be on my radio show, that we were going to talk about him. This is where we're going to talk about black racists. And let me tell you something, black racist. Fuck you. Okay? And I'll say it to your face. You're no better than a white racist. I don't care about 400 years of oppression. I'm tired of hearing that argument. Deal with us as we are today and deal with our deeds. Okay? Do that. And now we'll talk. Don't tell me. Don't even start with the goddamn slay. I don't want to hear that. However, when you say racism still exists, I'm not one of those white people going, for Christ's sake, shut up. Racism doesn't even exist. Yes, it does. Racism is still very strong in this country, but it's also gaining more footing with blacks because of what the media is doing. We'll get into that a little later. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what I want to do, my goddamn show. Apocalypse says, I hate Obama's taste in women. He's being honest. Barco says, I took a course in stress testing metals from general failure. Okay. Wait, still they ain't got no 40 acres and a mule? All right. It's funny you mention that, Kim, because I'm looking at a video here that was done by Paul Mooney, who's a fairly funny comedian. You may recall him as on the Dave Chappelle show, The Black Guy. He's kind of almost militant in his blackness, really hating on the whites. But he actually makes for pretty good comedy when he does stand-up, I thought. I mean, I guess it's all opinion, but he's pretty anti-white. Yeah, deep down. And what he said is, 500, 600 years or whatever of black slavery, you're lucky to get a nigga to do anything. Be happy when a nigga does anything. When you've been working that long for free, you need to sit down. And I said, wait. No. What your ancestors went through is one thing. And I hope in some form of heaven or the afterlife, they get sweet revenge if they were mistreated. But you, not so much. You're making more money than me. You're making more money than my fiance. You're making more money than all my friends that I'm close to combined. And you're telling me that you should get that for free because of white history? I don't think so. And I also agree with Guy that should be Black History Month. Black History Month is divisive. We don't need that. When you set out and say, here's a month for Black History, here's what you're saying. This is so stupid that people do this. The other 11 months are not for Black History. No, just white. I guess maybe a little Asian, Hispanic thrown in there. Yeah, just white. But we'll give you the shortest month of the year. We'll give you 1/12 of our year, just less than that, and we'll focus on your history. That's see how wrong? It just isn't right. So why don't we just do more work to fairly and accurately incorporate those accomplishments by black scientists and leaders throughout history into our current textbooks that we teach from? Why not do that? And then just not have a history month. Every month's history month if you're studying history. So, I don't know. See, some of these things were good ideas when they started because they needed attention and then quickly outlasted their welcome. Quickly became bad for society. But nobody... We're much we're much quicker to put a law into place than to repeal one, aren't we? And that goes for policies and procedures and even philosophies and thoughts. And we're going to talk about that tonight. The human mind is a broken mind. We are all weak. The very best and brightest among us need to shut the fuck up. They need to shut the fuck up and realize they're not that bright. I'm telling you guys, we're all a shade of stupid. All of us. So the question is, how can you take a step up from stupidest to just stupidest? You got to start taking those steps up to crawl out of the hole. This is why I talk about critical thinking a lot. All I'm trying to do, which is not a major accomplishment, even if I could get the whole world to employ time-tested techniques for critical thinking, I'm not making big strides here. What I'm trying to get you out of is the false stuff, because that's a time killer. When you're spending your time on the false stuff, that is a real waste of time. And you can be focused more on truth, or at least those things that may be true, by using empirical data verification techniques. It's simple. It really is. You can check your facts. Before we go any further, I'm going to talk about PolitiFact's first live fact check tonight. They took my idea that I gave them. I said I think we should do live fact checking. And they basically fucked it up. And we'll talk about that in a minute. First of all, there's a person who goes by the name of Austin Aitken. I'm going to spell it for you. Austin, as you would imagine that. Aitken, A-I-T-K-E-N. And here's what he said underneath this video from Paul Mooney called Jesus is Black. Not all, but most white guys are cowards by nature and is scared to hear this. Already can't even speak some fucking English. It's funny how only white men come to post negative stuff about Paul behind their computer screens. What do you think about that? Think most white men are cowards? So this guy, Pew Pew Laser, comes on and says, white people have been among the most adventurous and most honorable warriors in history. You're talking out of your ass. This other guy comes on, Medio Surreal, says, fuck you, W, quit making the AWOCs look bad. And then I said, let's see, who discovered the West? Who discovered North America by taking on the seas? Not the natives, they were just here, and I was actually thinking about the Vikings. Who landed on the moon? Who made up the majority of troops that fought for your right to say this dumb shit? No, wait, I'm not done. Who flew across the Atlantic the first time? Who stood at the Alamo? Who will be on the first 2 missions to settle Mars and the first one to settle the moon? How about being realistic? I hope racist whites explode, but I hope they explode near racist blacks. There's no room for this dumb shit in our world anymore. If you act like an animal, you get the cage. Study something, learn something, and you'll find some respect. And you don't deserve a fucking ounce until then, dumbass. That's what I said. Honkies is brainwashed by TV and news. I petty the weak. He couldn't spell pity, he spelled it petty. Coward white race, you're weak. This is what he said. I petty the weak, coward white race. You're weak and should be dead if you believe everything you read in another book written by white people. And I went on. I'm going to go ahead and share the link to this video if I can. Yeah, I'll share the link to the video. I don't know if you guys want to look. I mean, maybe because I don't want to read all the comments. It's too long. So, but I basically said you're going on my radio show tonight. He basically says white people are cowards. So, if I did give him a clue on how to find the show, I want to see if he's smart enough to find the show. And if he did, I want him to post. Hold on, I'm sharing the video. Some way to get in touch with him, or I'll post a way to get in touch with me. And I'd like him to come say this to my face, because I think you might be surprised what happens when you challenge someone because you have some sort of warped concept in your head about courage. Maybe because you grew up in a black neighborhood and the few white kids you saw were kind of scared. All right, I get that. But yeah, you don't want to fuck with me, and I encourage you to. Please do, because lessons are taught in just such ways, and I'm all about teaching when I can. Yeah, why not? So I got a copy here. Let me share this in the chat room. There we go. This is the video, and then you have to look in the comments on it. That's in the chat room there. Hopefully the link transcribed properly there. Let's catch up in chat though before we go on. You know why they do a black top, right? Because the white top is harder to clean. Oh, I see what you did there, Grandpa Al. Grandpa Al, I heard you opened up big time. Oh, let's go back to what I asked before, though, about who hates Obama and why. Guy Shea says, I don't hate Obama, just the entire idea of a two-party system. Apathy and playing devil's advocate system. That and his big ears. Okay. I never met the poor, but all my friends are broke ass. Yeah, well, you're listening to the poor right now, Barco. Ask him if this is some kind of gimmick, me saying that I'm poor. Yeah, I got fucking nothing, and I don't mind. I'm not bitching about that. It's part of what has held me back from trying to get Social Security disability, because I'm so fucking afraid of the judgment, especially in my small town. But you know what? I'm getting to the point where I don't care anymore, because I know what the program's designed for, and I fit the bill. I got in 2 accidents in 2010 while working on copiers. 2 accidents from being asleep at the wheel. Those are just the accidents. That doesn't tell you how many times I fell asleep at the wheel, because I can't sleep with my pain levels. I cannot nail down a sleeping schedule. I've tried all the medicines. I've played. I've tweaked. The only thing I haven't put much effort into is meditation, which I'm working on now. The second accident was a 4-car pileup. Flying fenders, windshields busted out, and the lady in the front of the 4-car pileup, I was naturally the cause, so I was in the back, had a kid in the car. And I was given a shot of reality right then that I'll never forget. And I knew then that I was done. I either get the back fixed or I don't work. That's all there is to it. Because I can't sleep. And when you can't sleep, you cannot be trusted to do anything. Think about it. Think about a job that's okay for somebody who never sleeps. I mean, maybe a sleep clinic or an awake clinic. Is that possible? If they have that, I could go work there. But I need to change positions every 10 minutes. I usually am making a face like somebody who's fucking with a stretched hamstring. And that's my normal face. What you're hearing now is a voluntary short-term displacement of the angst that I'm always in, so that I can try to sound halfway normal on this show, and then I'm done. Then I'm back to the fuck face. I'm back to the limping. I have been prescribed a cane by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Yeah, they thought I needed one, and I do. This is depressing shit when you're only 42 years old, but it's real. It's real, and it can be proven in x-rays. This is not something where I say, well, I've got this strange condition where my toenails talk to me. No, this can be proven with x-rays. Let me back away from me, because I'm not interested in me. I'm interested in you. And I want to go and talk a little bit. Okay, so here's Grandpa Al says, I hate Obama because he backed out of most of the best issues. Open the borders that this country could not afford to handle, and not helping the homeless vets redeem their stature, I think he meant, with medical and emotional help that they need. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind doing his wife. Okay, very honest answer there. I appreciate that, Grandpa Al. Let's see. No, I was not drinking any pee. I've never drank pee. I have never drank urine ever for any reason. Now, I will do it for $6 million, as I said on my last show. Barkley says, I don't converse with the poor people. They are dangerous. He's right. They are. They have different motivations than the wealthy. Let's see. Blacktop. Norse, Spanish, and Portuguese. Yes, the Vikings. I think the Vikings probably discovered at least northeastern North America in the, 1300s, somewhere right in there. Maybe the Norse, but they fucked off that claim, and the natives for like 15,000 years. Okay, I'm catching up on you in chat, so work with me here. I know, Kim. I know, but think about where we live, Kim. Kim's the only one in my audience right now, except for, based on the listening statistics, I think I have a few more local lurkers, if that's the word, that knows the mindset of the people in my town. Small town, semi-Bible Belt in its thinking. And you go out in this town, okay, and you are walking with a cane or not, and you're talking like I'm talking right now, they're not going to accept that you don't work a 40-hour job. Unacceptable. Okay, so the problem I had, and I've always had this problem, even when I was working 60 goddamn hours a week, and going to school full time for 6 fucking years. And that's not even the beginning of all the shit I've done in the past that required major effort. Has nothing to do with my psychology. The fact that I'm not working a 40-hour job right now. And I still do work on computers, by the way. I got one in my fiance's trunk right now that has to be worked on tomorrow. I got 2 others that I got to work on, which I've been putting off because I couldn't sleep. And don't try to work on a computer when you can't sleep. Please, people, don't. Because you'll fuck everything up. You really got to have your math parts of your brain. You got to have that left side of the brain working just right.